Okay, friends. Okay, we've got my Briggs and Stratton pulled apart again. I found when I got it back, they had two issues. One is that the head gasket, the paste, even though it was only around this oil well area here, it didn't work. It worked for all of 10 minutes. Then it started leaking oil into the cylinder and blowing clouds of smoke, and also blowing the oil up into the air filter. And so I went in to get the head gasket. It was only $15 anyway, so I should have done that to begin with. But I put it back together, and it ran alright. It didn't seem to be blowing clouds of smoke or anything, but it just kept losing oil. Like I filled it up with oil and went out and I used it, ran it for about probably about an hour, probably longer than that, maybe two. And it actually started running out of oil. It started beginning to seize up. And of course I noticed it straight away. I noticed the revs going down, and I shut it down and let it cool down, and then I topped up the oil. But and I ended up doing my whole lawn, the whole yard, my whole 5 acres with it. But it was using 2 litres of oil to a tank of petrol. And this is just ridiculous. So anyway, I pulled it all apart again, and I actually found that the compression ring was broken when I pulled it out. So I don't know if that broke due to the wear in the cylinder, or whether I actually broke it putting it in. I did use a car ring clamp, and it didn't go in very easily, so it's quite possible I broke the ring putting it in. But anyway, I then went looking for an oversized piston. I was going to get it rebored, and because of all the lockdowns in America, there's nothing coming out of America. I couldn't get an oversized piston. I possibly could have got a new casing and cylinder, except that I couldn't match the numbers exactly, so I didn't want to take a risk on it being the wrong one, even that probably was the same. And again, I was also concerned about how long it would take to get out of America, if at all, whether I might lose me money on that. And it was expensive. It was close to $400. So after exhausting all options, going, looking online and going around to all the Briggs and Stratton dealers and so on, I ended up taking the casing into our local engine reconditioners, and he re-sleeved it back to the original size, and it actually worked out cheaper. It was $212, which was that's like $50 less than it would have cost me for a piston kit anyway. So it worked out rather well, and I'm now able to put the old original piston back in, and I'm not going to get another set of rings. The set of rings, which is the only ones they could get me, the oil ring didn't fit anyway. It was too small or too narrow. This one has a much wider oil ring. So I'm just going to put the old rings back in. They've got plenty of spring left in them. They're not worn out by any stretch of the imagination. Rings don't normally wear down that much. They're a very hard steel. What happens is that they lose their spring and they get stuck into the piston. That's when they you start getting compression bypasses, because they're not pushing out into the cylinder anymore. As I said, they got plenty of spring, so I'm going to stick them back in. If I could get a new set of rings, the right set of rings, quickly and cheaply, and then I would do that. But anyway, and I bought another new head gasket, because the old one pulled apart when I pulled it apart. It fell to pieces. So yeah. One thing I realised after I actually put this together is that I put the piston upside down. It's got a notch in it, which usually notches either go to the front or to the top. In this case, it would go to the top. And you also, because the big end's slotted, or it's slotted, angled. It's not a 90-degree fitting, and it's made that way so that when it's turning, the pressure is in the center of the rod. And yeah, because last time I didn't actually realise that I've got the engine upside down. This is the bottom of the engine, so I put all that in the wrong way anyway. So, but fortunately, it didn't break. So yeah, we got away with that for the time being. But yeah, I'll keep all that in mind this time and reassemble it. So anyway, I just thought I'd put this video out for that purpose. With parts not being available at the moment, there are alternatives if you go looking for them. And as I said, in this case, the alternative worked out cheaper than what I was originally going to do anyway. So, okay, thanks for watching.